Yo, what's going on, guys? TeaZeaGaming back with another video, and in today's video, we are doing something a little bit different. We are doing the best sniper rifles in PUBG Mobile. So I'm going to be ranking all the sniper rifles in PUBG Mobile from number 1 all the way to number 9, since there are 9 sniper rifles. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. With number 9, we got the VSS. The reason why the VSS is number 9 on the list is because it's the VSS. If you've ever played with the VSS, you know that the VSS is pretty much trash unless you're playing sniper rifles only, where you could close range someone with the VSS. The VSS only has 10 bullets, and with a 0.34 fire rate, that's just insanely impractical, since really you're just going to run out of bullets before you even know it and get yourself killed. I have got myself killed so many times with the VSS. The VSS really is only good with an extended quick draw mag, especially since the reload takes around 2.5 seconds. And overall, it's just a really shit gun. It's not the best gun in the world. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. I mean, it does have a fast rate of fire, and you can catch someone off guard with it, but other than that, I definitely don't see a reason to pick it up. Now, number 8. Number 8, I decided to put the Mini 14. I've never been a real big fan of the Mini 14. Really, I've never been a fan of the Mini 14. The Mini 14 does 48 damage, which is roughly a little bit close to what the QBU. I couldn't think of what the weapon was called, the QBU, but still the QBU does 14 damage more, and compared to the VSS does 35 damage, and the Mini 14 does 44. So technically, with the faster rate of fire, you'd kill someone quicker with the VSS than the Mini 14. The Mini 14 does not have as many attachments as other DMRs like the SKS or even the MK14. But yeah, so it's slower than literally every DMR. It's slower than every DMR when it comes to a rate of fire. Personally, I just don't like it. Plus, it's a 5.56 bullet, so it shoots 5.56, so it's not going to do as much damage. So that's why I ranked it number 8. Now, number 7, I know that you guys are going to be surprised with this one because it is the M24. I decided to put the M24 down on the list so low because it's just not that good on paper. I mean, definitely in game, it sure does rock better than the Kar 98 in some occasions. But at the end of the day, the Kar 98 is better than the M24. So the M24 does have more damage than the Kar 98, but when it comes to a battle who would win, it really just depends on your situation, because the M24 has a really slow rate of fire. It's about, I'd say, about 3 milliseconds slower than the Kar 98. Well, yes, the reload time does take longer if you're reloading your weapon and your magazine isn't empty, yes, but at the same time, let's say both you with an M24 and another guy with a Kar 98 both run out of bullets at the same time, the reload speed is exactly the same, unless you have an extended quick draw sniper mag, and we all know how difficult those are to find. And another downside, which definitely just puts it so low on the list, which I have died to so many times, is that the iron sight on the M24, there are so many issues with the iron sights. If you look closely to the M24, you'll notice that it doesn't even have iron sights. When you try to fire with what you think would be a good shot, you realize that your shot is so high, it shoots straight over your enemy. Like, you could be point blank, and I've noticed this. I've died to this so many times, and honestly, that is why it's so down on the list, because you're not going to find a good scope right off the bat. Let's say you drop military base and you pick up an M24. You're not going to find a scope that you could probably put on there. And let's say you can't find one, still you're stuck with that. With the Kar 98, you still have a scope that you can still scope people in with. So at the end of the day, I'd still pick the Kar 98 over the M24. On to the next DMR slash sniper rifle. I picked the SKS with a base damage of 55, which is quite a bit of damage. I love the SKS. I will pick up the SKS over almost any weapon that I find, because the SKS is such a great medium to long distance. You can use the SKS in somewhat close range, but it works better at medium to long range. But you could pretty much use the SKS in any situation. The rate of fire is way better than the Mini 14. I'm sorry, I almost said the M24. It's so much better than the Mini 14. The damage is way better than the Mini 14, and honestly, it's so close to being better than almost every weapon on here because of its rate of fire. This has a faster rate of fire than every single DMR minus the MK14 and the SLR. So that includes the QBU. It has more damage and it has a faster fire rate than the QBU. The Mini 14, the VSS, it does not have a faster fire rate, but it does have more damage than that, and it also almost beats the M24. I know it does beat the M24 in the iron sights category. Another thing is, it's wonderful because it has a 10 to 20 round magazine. It has 10 with normal magazine, and if you want to get an extended or extended quick draw, you can rack it up to 20, and that works miracles. It just works miracles with this weapon. Next on this list is number 5, and this right here is the Sonic Special, the QBU. Now this right here, the QBU, does more damage than the Mini 14. It's supposed to be the replacement for the Mini 14. Well, it has a slightly slower fire rate than the Mini 14. It still does more damage. It does 4 more damage, which honestly isn't that much, but when it comes to the QBU, it has more damage and it just feels better. It's like honestly, if I could substitute the QBU for the Mini 14 on every map, I probably run with the QBU more than I run with the SKS. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. If it makes you guys feel better, I have more skins for the QBU than I do for the Mini 14, so I'm definitely down with the QBU. Plus, the QBU is just amazing. If you've ever played sniper rifles and you got the sniper rifle all match and you pick up a QBU, man, I'm telling you, you can understand. The QBU just works miracles, especially in medium to somewhat close range too. You could just spam the fire button. It has really good accuracy as long as you're in control of your aim. Now we're up to number 4. We're almost getting to number 1. Number 4 is the SLR. Now the SLR has a base damage of 58. 58 damage, which is pretty good for a DMR. That's pretty good for a rifle in general. And it has slightly faster. It's literally the SKS but on steroids. It's slightly faster and it has more damage than the SKS. It does not have as many attachments, but overall it's a better weapon. It's literally the SKS on steroids. The reason why it's so far on the list is because, have you ever tried searching for an SLR? The SLRs are so hard to find. They are so rare on mobile. I rarely find them, and when I find them, I make sure that I find room to have that in my inventory, because the SLR does so well, especially on medium to long range. I wouldn't recommend it for close range, more like long range. The bullet speed is pretty good. So now on to our next gun. Our next gun at number 3 is the Kar 98. The Kar 98 is just the overall god of the game. When I think of PUBG, I either think of the Pan or the Kar 98. Also chicken dinners, but mainly when it comes to weapon wise, when it comes to an actual gun, I think of the Kar 98. The Kar 98 is such a classic gun and classic weapon when it comes to this game. So the Kar 98 has a faster aim than the M24, and it has a better rate of fire. We discussed the differences between those two with the M24, so I'm not going to go into too much detail into this, but overall, I definitely prefer the Kar 98, the K9, over the M24. On to our number 2 spot. It's going to be the MK14, the Mark 14. This is a DMR. This is a supply drop or supply crate or whatever you want to call it. This comes from one of those crates only, and unless you're in sniper rifles, all. But this does a base damage of 60 damage. That is quite a bit of damage. That's quite a bit of damage. If you think about it, that's almost as much as the Kar 98. Plus, this weapon has a full auto feature with an extended magazine that can reach up to 20. That is just insanely overpowered if you think about it. I mean, this has so many attachments. You can put literally an AR suppressor or AR compensator, put the AR compensator and turn this into damn near an assault rifle, which makes that really great. It has the best bullet speed and the best damage of any of the DMRs in this whole entire category. Wipes everything out of the water. It is literally the SLR on steroids. I know I called the SLR the SKS on steroids, but the MK14 is the SLR on steroids and coke. Man, I'm telling you, that is crazy. It is just insanely powerful. Now, before we get into our last sniper rifle, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows about, I'd like to say thank you very much for those who watch these videos. And if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that bell notification, and go ahead and like this video. Now on to our last weapon. Everyone knows this is the most overpowered rifle in the game. If you're not thinking about Kar 98s or pans or chicken dinners when it comes to PUBG, you're definitely going to think about the AWM. The AWM is such a sleek weapon. It's almost, I'm telling you, it's the best, most satisfying weapon to get an elimination or a kill with. This weapon is just amazing. The base damage is 132. That is a great way to just BM someone back to the lobby. It is amazing. Most of the time you don't even find an AWM till like midway or towards the end of the game, but still, it's a great weapon to play with. This matches perfectly with a lot of assault rifles. Put any scope. I've used the AWM with a red dot. It goes with any scope whatsoever. Literally, you only attachments you need are maybe an extended and a good scope. Other than that, the AWM comes with a 5-round magazine, and it also, when extended, could come into a 7-round magazine. This right here, this 300 Magnum gun is literally the bomb, especially when suppressed. Oh man, you can just wreck someone. One tap people with this thing, especially this bullet can one tap any single helmet. One tap level 1, duh. One tap level 2, duh. And it can one tap the level 3 helmets. So this is the god of all sniper rifles. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give this video a like. The more likes, the more you guys encourage me to make more videos like this. I did put in quite a bit of research to get this video, and I plan on improving this style of videos sooner. So without any further ado, I will see you all later. Peace.